Okay, we're going to the second page of our Pythagorean Theorem notes. Pythagorean Theorem is used in right triangles. So if we want to know if these two pictures here state if the triangle is a right triangle, in order for something to be a right triangle, it has to meet the guidelines of a squared plus b squared equals c squared. It has to meet Pythagorean Theorem, meaning it has to be true if you put the numbers in. And remember, the other way to think of that is the leg squared plus the other leg, or side squared, has to equal the hypotenuse squared. So let's try it with the numbers. Again, Ms. Campbell left off these little boxes. They're supposed to be right angles in these boxes when I created them. So, in this picture, the 15 is considered a hypotenuse. So you can do 12 squared and 9 squared. It doesn't matter which one you write first. We want to see, are these two things equal? Is 12 squared plus 9 squared equal to 15 squared? Let's try it. 12 squared is 144. 9 squared is 81. So 144 plus 81 equals 225. Okay? Let's try this side. 15 squared is, that comes out to 225. So these two things are equal. So yes, the answer would be, because if Pythagorean theorem works, those two things are equal, then it's a right triangle. Okay, let's try this one. The diagonal for this one is 11 is our hypotenuse, so we're going to do 9 squared plus square root of 115 squared equals 11 squared. Okay, let's square these things. 9 squared is 81. The square root of 115 squared just cancels out to 115. So 81 plus 115 equals 196. That's this side. Let's see, what is 11 squared? 11 squared is 121. So the answer would be no, not equal. So it cannot fulfill the Pythagorean theorem, which makes it not a right triangle. Not a right triangle because Pythagorean theorem does not work if they're not equal. Okay, this is the same idea, only instead of giving you a picture with three numbers on it, they give you just three numbers. So how do I know which of those three numbers is the hypotenuse? In order to know that, your hypotenuse, or your C term, I'm going to put in parentheses, the C equals, it's the longest side or biggest number. Now most of the time they put these numbers in order, but I can't guarantee they always will, so to help recognize 9, 12, and 15. 15 is the biggest number, so this is going to be your hypotenuse. So you want to see, does 9 squared plus 12 squared equal 15 squared? So let's see, 9 squared is 81, 12 squared is 144, and 15 squared was 225. So 81 and 144 add up to 225. 225, so the answer is yes, this one would make a right triangle. Now on this one, how do I know which one's the biggest? So let's type this in. 4 square root 3. 4 square root of 3 is about 6.9. And 4 square root of 7 is about 10.6. So we're going to say that the last one here is your hypotenuse. It was the biggest number out of all those. So it's going to look like 4 square root of 3 squared plus 8 squared equals 4 square root 7 squared. So you square each one and see if the two smaller ones add up to equaling the third one. If that's true, then Pythagorean theorem worked. Okay, so I'm going to do a parentheses 4 square root of 3 squared. So that's 48. Okay, so we'll write down 48 plus 8 squared is 64. Let's try the other side now. 4 square root of 7 squared. Okay, 4 square root of 7 squared is 112. Alright, now we gotta add 48 plus 64 equals 112. Hey, looky there. These two add up to 112, and this one equaled 112, so this answer would be yes. Anytime you do Pythagorean theorem and these two don't come out equal, then the answer is not yes, it's not a right triangle. So, if you're given a picture, the hypotenuse is always across from the diagonal, so if you have to solve for a side. If you are given just three numbers, the biggest number is your hypotenuse. So everything today is working on using that Pythagorean theorem, either to, show you the side again, either to solve for a missing side, set it up and solve for the x, or given three numbers or three sides, can you determine if it's a right triangle using Pythagorean theorem?